Why do so many people have problems walking? Why is there so much back pain and neck pain and joint pain? Why are there so many muscle alignment issues? Why is there so much knee problems? And I've seen a lot of different theories that suggest humans didn't evolve well to be bipedal, or because we're vertebrates, we're not meant to be upright. Some theories go as far as saying that our spinal cords aren't adjusted for this gravity. All of those ideas are wrong. We are in fact meant to walk. It's just that the majority of people are walking incorrectly. The way that most people walk is by throwing their legs forward and kind of pulling their bodies into their stride. They're basically stomping forward and putting all of this unnecessary weight into one part of their legs. This kind of movement is just rattling your bones and spine. If you want to see this for yourself, go to a crowded place and just people watch for a while. You'll notice that most people are walking like cartoon characters. They have inconsistent strides, they're veering from side to side, so they're unbalanced, they're stumbling on their feet, they're stomping really hard, they're kicking their legs out and dragging themselves forward. So how do you fix this? How do you walk properly? We weren't born knowing how to walk. It's something you had to learn, just like birds had to learn how to fly, and ants have to learn how to do their jobs. They're not born with these skills. Thankfully, it's never too late to learn, and the way that we walk, the mechanical process, has to do with why we are bipedal in the first place, which mainly comes down to two muscle groups, your core muscles and your glute muscles. These should be activated when you're walking. Walking is not a subconscious background activity, it's something you're actively, consciously doing. The core muscles are used to stabilize your body, and your glute muscles are what you're using to actually move. They're what you're using to drive your foot into the ground. Activating your glute muscles will propel yourself forward. You're pushing off the ground rather than throwing your feet forward and dragging yourself into them. Now you're not squeezing your muscles so hard that you can't even breathe, right? They're just activated. Your footsteps should be smooth and balanced. You should be light on your feet, balanced and in control. There should be a certain rhythm to your gait. I think any martial artist, dancer, or soldier probably has this instilled in them. When you're not walking properly, all of your weight is shifting from one leg to the other instead of being balanced between the two. The way that we're walking could be described almost as cat-like. Now, I mentioned going someplace where you can people watch. Once you've started to retrain yourself how to walk, you might notice it a little bit more obviously of how people are walking incorrectly. This is a topic for another time, but there's a lot of psychoanalysis and psychology into how people walk, and the posture that they have can reveal a lot about someone. There may be a lot of soreness when you're retraining how to walk, as your body's readjusting and realigning itself and using muscles it's not used to using. And just remember to breathe. You're more than just your head and your visual space. You're your entire body, and you have to be the one consciously using those muscles and breathing and having proper posture. Again, every other animal has to learn how to do this. Since we're here, if you do have a lot of misalignment in your muscles, whether it's from walking or scoliosis or just lifestyle, injury, or exercising wrong, the way that you start to realign yourself goes into knowing the difference between whether to massage or to stretch a certain part of your body. For example, let's say someone has really bad shoulder misalignment. One of them is super bunched up, the other one's super outstretched. The way that you start to realign this is you need to stretch the muscle that's really clustered and bunched up, and you need to massage and relax the muscle that's being overworked and overstretched. Now, these things take time to fix. It could be weeks, months, maybe even years, but you have to think about a lifetime of doing something wrong is going to cause such a chain reaction of issues. I imagine too that the so-called growing pains from childhood was this initial misalignment and misuse of the mechanical action of walking and posture, causing things to kind of start growing and developing improperly, which of course would lead to pain, and then eventually you're going to have arthritis and joint pain and back pain and neck pain and shoulder pain. But yeah, sometimes you just have to relearn the basics. We have to walk a certain way with certain muscles, and you have to be conscious of it. And this could help a lot of people with chronic pain and a lot of unnecessary damage to their bodies.